Good afternoon, everybody. It is Thursday, December 28th, 3:15 p.m. Eastern. We've got one trading day left in 2017. Pretty similar patterns by the past couple days. We start the morning with strength. We fade into the end of the day, but very low volume, very low price action, not a whole lot going on. Market appears to be waiting for 2018 to do anything. So checking at the hourly time frame, SPY bulls still in control, backtesting and holding hourly moving average support, and just seeing some healthy consolidation. And looking at it on the daily time frame, we've been seeing healthy consolidation at this point for 7 days in a row, maintaining exponential support and trying to curl back up with higher lows and higher highs the past 2 days in a row. And the all-time high is 268.60, and we got up to 267.90. We got 70 cents away from the all-time high today, so all it takes is one bullish day, and we're right there. The dollar is still continuing to dump. We're down to the support now of 92.50. The low today is 92.57. The 4-hour RSI on the dollar is the lowest that we've seen in quite some time. We have regularly bounced off of the 20 level on the 4-hour RSI when it gets to that point. And at this point, we've gotten down to the low 20s. So an oversold bounce opportunity, if we dip below 92.50 support, certainly will be very extended at that point. The bear miners had some upside early this morning, but it faded as the gold bulls have been able to maintain control. Again, the 4-hour RSI on gold is extremely unsustainable at these levels. We're over 80, and we scroll back historically, and aside from a couple brief little peaks, we have not stayed over 80 on the 4-hour RSI in years. So we are more extended in the short-term time frames in gold than we've been in years at this point, a couple years, which is why tomorrow I would love to see gold still holding up well to give us an opportunity for another entry into these bear miners looking for healthy daily consolidation on gold, which has not occurred 6 days in a row. Oil, 4-hour equilibrium pattern about to break bullish, and it just did break bullish by a couple pennies. So we have our low, lower high, higher low, and now a higher high looking to confirm this daily bull flag and give us a break towards $60, a break over $60. Key test coming tomorrow, bullish reaction to the inventory report. Natural gas is beginning to consolidate on the hourly time frame after an initial bullish reaction to the inventory report. Significant bounce the last 2 days. Weekly time frame is forming a bullish reversal. Actually, we're confirming the bullish reversal doji from last week. So bullish reversal doji being confirmed, and the daily chart is going to have to start forming higher lows and higher highs. We have broken the lower high pattern, but we have not formed a clear higher low after consolidation. So once the momentum runs out for the bulls, we will be looking for that consolidation and higher low to form, and then we'll see if the bulls can reverse this trend and start a bullish uptrend, or at least a bounce, in 2018. Bitcoin fading, but bouncing at this point. It's really just a slow and steady downtrend. It's the hourly chart seeing lower highs and lower lows, but it's keeping the hourly RSI from getting oversold because of these short-term bounces. So we did break support and headed to lower lows. We're looking at the 15-minute time frame. It's a solid bounce off of those lows, a really nice oversold bounce for these bulls, but we're going to just form another lower high on this hourly time frame, and the resistance is up at 14,550. So I'm still being very patient. Plenty of opportunity in stocks right now, which is where my focus has been on Canadian MJ, with these names moving, 40, 50% this week. Ethereum had a nice bounce as well. It too broke to lower lows on the hourly time frame, not nearly as bearish as Bitcoin, and Litecoin is the lead bear. It dumped and has now seen a significant bounce, but same thing, we're going to form a lower high on this bounce unless the bulls are able to make their way over the upper 240s. It's possible for the bulls to form an hourly higher low and a higher high to change this trend. 4-hour RSI did dip down into oversold for Litecoin. Bulls are recovering from that. But as far as I'm concerned, until Bitcoin proves to me that the bulls are taking back over, as the bears have been in control for 2 days at this point, until the bulls prove to me that they're taking back over, I'm being very cautious on all of these names. It is still a higher low on the 4-hour time frame for Bitcoin compared to 13,210. So we just formed a low off of 13,500, but I need to see the hourly time frame break 14,550 and start seeing some increasing bullish volume on this recovery. And BCH is a lead bear as well. Lower highs and lower lows continue, and nobody cares about BCH at this point. Someday we'll care about BCH again, but not right now. Lower highs, lower low, lack of liquidity on GDAX makes it more difficult to trade. Let's get into some daily and weekly setups. Need to make sure I'm watching Canadian MJ here into the end of the day. Wow, those bulls bought that dip on WEED, oversold bounce on the 5-minute time frame. Dipped down to 29.36, and we just bounced 3%, and we're heading back towards the highs with the bulls trying to recover here at the end of the day. So potential for another entry opportunity, and we're going to do the same thing tomorrow that we did today. If we close strong, get in for the gap up open, and then be very protective because we know that the rug is going to get pulled at any point. And WEED pulled back 3% in 15 minutes. So last thing we want to be doing is holding during that scenario. But the bulls are showing that they are not done just yet. Need to see how much money I left on the table with that WEED oversold bounce. So let's look at ACB. And again, it's where we close that's important. The last 20 minutes of trading, I want to see where momentum is heading for these bulls. And right now, the bulls have that momentum. So ACB, daily time frame, all-time highs today. We got that breakout. It was a laggard as anticipated, increasing bull volume. Bull MACD cross all-time highs today. Resistance is $8.93 and then $9 psychological. If we close up above $8.80, we are looking to test $9 tomorrow and potentially looking for continuation. We saw that same kind of flush where we have to be very cautious and honor stop losses. We dumped from $8.93 down to $8.65 very quickly, but the bulls are recovering. We're not done just yet, and it definitely looks seasonal in terms of the end of the year causing funds to buy things up here or whatever the reason is. It does look like we are going to end 2018 strong. EMH, daily time frame, still consolidating. Inside bar today, support is 495 and resistance is 518. If we break the inside bar bearish, we're looking for this daily equilibrium pattern to continue playing out, and we'll look for a higher low in the mid $4 range. If we break bullish, we're looking back at the all-time high of 548. VRX. So VRX did get a break to a lower low, so we're still consolidating, and this is an equilibrium pattern on the daily as well. We have our high of the breakout, our low of consolidation, lower high is 22.28, and we're looking to form a higher low compared to 1901. Anything above 1901 is a higher low. Bulls bought the dip to a degree today, but we have to see the hourly 20-period moving average regained as support in order to have confidence that the bulls are turning things around. Hourly 20-period rejected the price yesterday, rejected the price first thing today. It's currently at 21.35 and dropping. Hourly 20 period has to become support for the bulls, otherwise we're still in consolidation mode on the daily. Weekly time frame for VRX rejecting from 100-week moving average resistance. If we close above the if we close below the upper Bollinger Band, below 21.26 tomorrow, we will look at the potential for consolidation, but really it's the daily chart and that equilibrium pattern that matters. I would use that time frame for more details. Apple had a nice bull break to start today, giving it all back here as the tech sector is down near the low of the day at the end of the day. Weak bounce, back test rejection from middle Bollinger Band, daily exponential moving averages. Seeing a lot of fading out there, but not in Netflix. Netflix go signal. Well, we've had a few, but really once we broke this double top, it was off to the races. Look at the lack of resistance. You get over 190.95. We look at 192.64. Get over 192.64. Where's the next resistance? 199. We had $7 of room with no real resistance, and the bulls are really enjoying that fact. We've been talking about Netflix being the clear lead bear out of the 5 tech names, the clear laggard, and it's doing its best to catch up today. No other tech name on my screen is up more than 0.5%, and Netflix is up over 4%. So Netflix closing strong, and we're looking at psychological resistances up to 199. Apple bears are in control. We're looking down on Apple support. I segued even into Netflix there unintentionally, but it was the next ticker. So we're closing near the low of Apple. Support is 169.71 from here. And if we break that level, it's just a little weak bounce attempt and then a lower low. RDFN. Let's check out that weekly chart for Netflix. So holding that middle Bollinger Band for 5 weeks in a row, and now seeing some nice follow through, getting over exponential resistance, trying to make their way back towards the all-time high. Still a lot of resistances and a lot of work to do, but a really good way to end the year for the Netflix Bulls. RDFN. RDFN in breakout mode on the daily time frame. Very strong close, nice increasing bull volume. And recent IPO resistance is 30.21, and then the all-time high 33.49. Break of 30.21 would be bullish tomorrow. That's the level the bulls are going for. Trying to stay above the upper Bollinger Band in breakout mode. CVGW. CVGW. Also in breakout mode, closing up near the high of the day above the upper Bollinger Band. On the daily chart, that break of $83 was bullish. Made it up a nice 2% after that break. And all-time highs in breakout mode, closing strong, looking for more tomorrow. Bulls would like to see more volume on this kind of candlestick today. But as long as we see a strong close, they certainly remain in control overall. LBY.V. So we were looking for the oversold bounce on LBY. We got beautiful follow through for the bulls. And just like that, 50% move in 2 days. Nice oversold bounce. Resistance is 107 and 112. And if we close here above $1, bulls will look to see continuation tomorrow. Really nice bounce overall. Nice opportunity by those that were scouting out this oversold bounce. And certainly paying off. Tesla. So bullish reversal candlestick that we were looking for is formed. We have to confirm it tomorrow with another green day. Checking Tesla on the weekly, or I should say on the hourly. Well over the hourly 20-period moving average. Bounce is certainly underway, but again, we have to break the high of today tomorrow morning and see continuation in another solid green day to confirm that our higher low has been established at 309.54. The bulls are going to do their best to try and hold this 50-week moving average support and close over 317.27 tomorrow, as we were anticipating, because it has held recently in the past and because we were oversold on the hourly time frame. So must confirm this reversal candlestick tomorrow with another solid green day. EMC.V, breakout continuation on the Canadian MJ name. Key break of 211 was significant, and I'll show you why on the weekly time frame. It broke the lower high pattern. 211 was the highest price that we've seen in the past 6+ months of trading. So breaking that level, we're now looking at 238, and we rejected from 235, but 238, 264, 295. There's a lack of resistance up here. There's plenty of levels, but a lot of space in between those levels. And bulls have changed the trend, catching up with the rest of the sector. Certainly a laggard overall, but finally seeing some life. CANN. TRTC is closing strong. USMJ is running into January 1st as anticipated. So CAN breaking. Resistance here is 519, and we broke it. Upper Bollinger Band resistance tomorrow. We're closing strong on increasing bull volume. We did that rundown of the USMJ tickers this morning first thing. Let's do it again. TRTC, breakout continuation. MJNA, breakout huge volume continuation. HEMP, not significant follow through. GRNH is consolidating. AMMJ, also consolidating. So a nice mix now. Half the names continuing in full-on bull mode, and half the names are consolidating. So that would be a little bit of caution. But TRTC on the weekly time frame, let's look at CAN on the weekly first. Key break of 519, and looking at all-time highs. 519 was a double top at the all-time high. Need to zoom out to make sure that's the case. Take it back. So we're not at all-time highs. I'm looking at 565 and 130. No, I take that back. 565 and 950 as the next resistances. Checking TRTC's long-term chart, that break of 325 was very significant because it shifted 2 years of downtrend from lower highs and lower lows to a higher low and a higher high, full-on breakout mode for the bulls. And closing strong, looking for more up at the high of the day right now. CBW. CBW gap up and profit taking today, getting very overextended. The gap filled back to 181. Bulls are still above the upper Bollinger Band, so they are still in control. Look for the hourly time frame to start setting lower highs and lower lows to indicate that the top is in. Checking the hourly right now real quick. So key support is 178. If we break 178, the hourly chart has a lower high and lower low. Google, we were looking for a bullish reversal candlestick on the daily time frame to form to indicate that our higher low had been established on the daily and that consolidation was done, and we haven't done it yet. Lower highs and lower lows continue. Daily middle Bollinger Band support test tomorrow, just over 1053. No sign of the bulls, patiently waiting. 7 red days in a row. Hourly 20 period has rejected the price multiple times in a row. If we lose the daily middle Bollinger Band, we're looking down at 1044. I'm liking scouting Google for a bullish entry either tomorrow. Same thing as what we did with Tesla. Just patient, waiting for signs that the bulls are showing up either tomorrow or Monday to start, or I should say Tuesday to start the new year. MJX, so I took my profit, although the bulls are holding in here. I just took my profit in terms of anticipating that the Canadian MJ sector is going to consolidate in the near term and that we will be able to get in cheaper, but the bulls have nothing to worry about on MJX right now. I do have a long-term position stashed away that I'm not touching, but my big-time position for me from the other day, I am now out as I took all the profit there. So bulls are still strong, the volume finally catching up. We're looking at resistance of 32.44, 33, and 33.74. Bulls in full control, lack of trading history to be looking at. I would say key support, looking at the 5-minute time frame today, is 31.52. And this is why I took profit on the bounce for MJX. It was because, look what happened when the Canadian MJ sector consolidated. We went from 32.44 to 31.52. We dropped 3% in 20 minutes, just like Canadian MJ dropped 3% in 15 minutes. So once the top is hit for these Canadian MJ names, we will be able to get MJX cheaper, and I'm very confident that these Canadian MJ names are going to pull back from these levels. It's just a question of when. That's why I protected my profit, but at this point, still just fine for the bulls on MJX. TRTC also just fine for the bulls, extremely strong close. Looking for more tomorrow. I would be looking to take profit, or at least walking up a stop loss level to protect profit. I am anticipating a sell the news reaction to January 1st because the date is very known, and we're running up into that date. So to give yourself the opportunity to continue to profit, I would be walking up a stop loss every day. And we'll see if there's any correlation in a sell-off in US MJ and Canadian MJ as they are all running together. X bull flag on the daily time frame confirmed. Break of the double top at 35.51 was the go signal. We're looking at 36 psychological resistance from here, and then the next weekly resistance is up at 37.12. Bulls in full control. New key short-term support is 34.80. NXTTF, volume climax, bearish reversal candlestick. So NXTTF in 2 months has run thousands of percent, Canadian MJ, and we are looking toppy. 212 is support, looking for a daily inside bar to form tomorrow unless we see the Canadian MJ sector dump. I wouldn't expect to see a dump last trading day of the year, but it's certainly possible. So support will be 212, and if we can't break 212, I'll anticipate a daily inside bar to form with healthy sideways consolidation. VUZI. Bounce continues. Bull break of the daily inside bar at 625. Gap to fill at 675. Bulls want to close. Well, we're pretty close to the high of the day. Certainly closing strong. Bull MACD cross and a gap fill is the goal for the Bulls. 675 is that level, and the weekly time frame maintaining the middle Bollinger Band support 3 weeks in a row on a back test, trying to form a higher low, and now we need a higher high. We already broke the lower highs to start the trend change. Now we have our higher low and need a break of 725 for convincing continuation. HVST.V. Double top at 135 and profit taking. If we can't break 135 tomorrow, we're going to be looking down at 128 and 120 as supports. Very important resistance level. Double top at the all-time highs. Definitely cautious, especially if we break the low of today tomorrow with an inability to break that double top. Can't chart TNY. Can't chart anything on the CSE. It is not supported by any of these charting softwares. I'll have to use the US tickers in those instances. LABU. I'd say it's a victory day for the biotech bulls. They held on strong. Broke their double top. So LABU got a break of 82.74. We're looking at resistance of 81.80. Actually, we didn't break 82.74. So there's a perfect example of time decay. XBI broke the high of November 6th today. And you look at LABU, and we are a percent short of breaking that resistance today. So a percent time decay in the last 2 months for LABU because it's leveraged, it's a leveraged ETF compared to the underlying of XBI. And support, the bulls want to maintain daily higher lows. We've got 3 days or 6 days in a row of higher lows. So support is 79.29 to keep the hourly higher lows going. SPLIF, huge gap up today. Canadian MJ, huge bull volume. Have to be cautious of volume climaxes. This is a bearish reversal spinning top candlestick. A break of 60 cents tomorrow would confirm it. If we don't break 60 cents and if we don't break 94 cents, a daily inside bar and sideways consolidation is coming. Bulls want to close as close to the high of the day as possible, but seeing names fade a little bit, we're seeing strong closes on ACB. WEED is a solid 2% away from its all-time high right now. Going to be a very interesting final 15 minutes of the day for the Canadian MJ sector. MSRT breakout. This is USMJ. Huge follow through after the bull move yesterday. And we went from 36 up to 48. So a nice 30% move in one day. Closing up near the high, resistance from here is going to be up at 52 cents. And we are up from the low over 400% in less than 2 months. Seasonality for these MJ names. I've been playing this seasonality in the US MJ sector for literally 7 years. QRSRF. Thanks for the ticker. So it's a bearish reversal candlestick with profit taking from the highs. Bulls still keeping higher lows on the daily. 113 is support. Still above the upper Bollinger Band in breakout mode as well. What we're going to be watching for The top will likely be set in two scenarios for Canadian MJ. The first scenario would be a huge rush, way too fast and unsustainable in the first 20 minutes of trading, and then a complete 180 and dump. Or we see a loss of upper Bollinger Band supports on the daily time frame, and we see an inability to break the high of the previous day. Any Canadian MJ name that is unable to break the high of the previous day, that's a heads up of potential consolidation. So tomorrow, QRSRF will have to break the high of 149. Otherwise, that is going to start convincing bulls to lock in their profit. Think about it. Think about the psychology of what's going on. Everybody is holding their shares and in euphoria mode and swimming in gains, and they're looking for day after day to continue. And the first day that we don't see a higher high and continuation, that's as clear of a signal to all traders, even people that don't use technical analysis, to say, okay, we were unable to see continuation and higher highs. I'm going to lock in some profit. And of course, that just gets magnified when a lot of people do it at the same time. Google fresh lows at the low of the day. Looking hourly RSI. 5-minute RSI is down at 16. We're very oversold. Google should bounce before the end of the day. Even just a small bounce. Very short-term bounce. But the hourly RSI is down at 25 as well. So Google is going to be looking prime heading into tomorrow for a similar scenario to what we've been doing with Tesla the past 2 days, scouting for a bullish reversal candlestick on the daily and a higher low of consolidation. AC.to. And SPY bulls are showing up here at the end of the day. Financial sectors at the high of the day. AC.to, nice continuation. $26 is resistance. Little multiple tops right up at those levels. Have to break this. Volume is not there for the bulls. Need to see increasing volume and a break at $26 tomorrow. And then we're looking at 27.14 as the next level. Grinding up this weekly middle Bollinger Band support, keeping the bulls in control. Need to break 26 to keep that in control. So APH right now is holding on well. ACB is holding on well. And WEED, it's holding on. All the Canadian MJ are holding on, just not closing with conviction at the high of the day like yesterday at this point. Still plenty of time for that to change. It looks like Bitcoin's setting a lower high on the hourly. Euphoria in the MJ space. Don't forget, we are in euphoria mode, which means we need to start looking the other way. We need to be looking the opposite direction of the herd a bit and to be protective. ACB with little strength here at the end of the day, and I'm going to set up to give myself the potential opportunity to do exactly what I did yesterday. Buy at the end of the day and sell into profit for continuation. And again, I don't care at this point if I leave money on the table when I'm taking profit in these names, because we know we are going to reload cheaper at some point in the near-term future. Very protective when we're in euphoria mode. Tesla bulls trying to close up near the high, looking for continuation tomorrow. SPY bulls will be looking for the all-time high either tomorrow or first thing next year. And I'll be making my decision about the end of the day and any entries with less than 10 minutes to go. A little bit more fade here at the end of the day. And I'll be interested to see if we close a decent amount away from the all-time high, and then we open tomorrow and are unable to break the all-time highs in the morning if that leads to consolidation. MPXEF. Breaking out extremely strong at the end of the day. Resistance from here is going to be up at 525 and 559. And looking for continuation tomorrow with the solid bull volume and the close at the highs. I've got a buy order for ACB filled out for the same play as yesterday, because the bulls are holding up and looking pretty good right now at the end of the day. Support on MPXEF. Looking at 5.2 even, 52 cents. And bulls showing up really for the first time today in just the last 30 minutes. SPY bulls kicking it up a notch, going to the high of the day. Financial sector at the highs. And MPXEF really kicking it up a notch here at the end of the day with big bull volume. In ACB, this is enough bullish momentum that I'm interested in making the same play as yesterday. Same play as yesterday. We hit the high of the day and or it wasn't the all-time high yesterday, but we hit the high of the day in the last couple minutes. And we just did it again. Close over 9 would be very, very nice. MJN doesn't really have a lot of bull momentum. It's holding up. But it's one of those scenarios where if we don't break the all-time high tomorrow morning, people are more likely to profit or to take profit. The closer you close to the high of the day, the easier it is for you to break to a higher high the next day. Because if you are unable to break to that higher high, that's when we see profit taking. ACB testing $9, huge wall of resistance there. See if the bulls can eat through $4.5 million. Nice battle to watch. Bid in the ask on ACB. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. Someone just added 50,000 to the ask to spoil the fun. Wow, they are buying that wall. Very impressive close. Even though we didn't break it. So hope you all have a good rest of your day, and we'll see you tomorrow to wrap up a fun year.